friends. Today I decided to have topic CSAT, which is I guess the hottest topic in civil service field, especially after prelims. And I have written this time, you can see this like SSC, CAT, IIT, JEE and UPSC, and over that CSAT. So why we have written on this? Because first time it has happened that UPSC is trying to establish its own standards in CSAT. It has its own standards in GS. Basically, let's give paper one, mains examination, and it is one of the toughest examinations in the world. That also you know. Here we are also not to dramatize about CSAT because fact is now before you. The reality is before you that even it is beyond our imagination. What we can dramatize and what we can set a difficult paper, it is much more than a question has been asked 10 to the 10. So it's like that much more, let's say that difficult. And then let's say students are talking now that what to do in CSAT. So yesterday I had discussion related to uh, about let's say UPSC and prelims and what should be your course of action. Today we decided to have focus on CSAT and CSAT related a bit of discussion, and then let's say what should be the strategy. As we have seen that people with when we have interaction with students and they are let's say that also when we have even face-to-face interaction in some cases, so we find that even some people have a very low score like in 30s also, like 30s, 40s, 50s, like this. And even I will say that a kind of thinking is coming that whether UPSC is going to get at least 10 to 15,000 candidates, because I guess that number of candidates may not qualify CSAT. Or what if let's say 15,000 candidates, even 15,000 candidates do not qualify in CSAT, then what UPSC will do? So, or let's say that can we say there are candidates who can qualify CSAT and they can be let's say more adequate in number like 15,000 plus. So I guess UPSC will tell better, that will know not today, but yes, when results come, most probably let's say when final result comes next year. So what we are trying to see is that if anyone who has in CSAT less than 66, it is very clear that he is not making. Now there are some novel type of things also that whether in CSAT there can be reservation. No, can there be reservation in CSAT? This, or whether UPSC considers let's say categories in CSAT, and if 66 is qualifying marks, so whether it will let's say that consider for scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBC less than 66. That way also I guess people have started having expectations. So we will not go into this. We don't know much on that aspect. UPSC knows better. But what we can say is that this CSAT, if it is less than, if someone has less than 66, it is 60, can say 61, 62. Yes, you can be a bit hopeful because if UPSC answers, by UPSC answers some questions become positive, it can be your luck can play, you may qualify. But certainly, let's say if someone is having less than 66 or 65, 64, so because of CSAT, even if the person has done better in paper one, so there is no chance. This is the bitter pill, we can say, or we can say that a heart-breaking type of experience, we can say, for the candidates. And although I had title yesterday in that video, suicide, right? You want to suicide, you should not commit suicide. That is not my intention. Otherwise, I'll get arrested also. So that was not, basically our students know that what I wanted to convey, especially other people, those who are not familiar, So they may not know what I wanted to convey, but yes, those who are familiar, I know they may understand my intention could have been different. And today when we say on CSAT, so it is very, let's say, those who are making 66 plus in CSAT and they have in GS, let's say, 60 plus. It can be 65, 70, it can be, let's say, whatever. Today, when we have seen the comments of the students, we did not expect that many comments. So comments, and they have shared their marks also. So on the basis of that, I can say if you have in CSAT 67, 68 plus, and suppose you have in GS 60 plus, it can be 65, 70, etc. So focus on your preparation. This already we have told in previous video that what should be the roadmap. I don't want to repeat it, but if you feel dejected, if you feel confused, perplexed, this is how people are writing. This is not the time to feel all these things. Why you should feel? Rather you have done better. If you are doing 65, 70 plus, so you have done better, seeing the nature of the paper. And good thing is that you are qualifying in CSAT. Those who are qualifying in CSAT, they should not feel bad. Rather, in fact, they are feeling bad, so it is their self-defeating approach again. So it's not like that. Rather, you should focus on your mains and don't waste your time. Rather, let's say that you decide that what you can do. You can start focusing on some small modules in that 20 days. It can be internal security, it can be society, it can be ethics paper. These things you can do. And these are small modules. Once you start reading, you will get engaged in that. So you will not feel also, let's say, upset or confused, etc. Ultimately, you have to study those subjects. It's better that you study right now, rather than, let's say, just keep regretting and thinking and then wasting your time. That should not be. Yes, those who have, let's say, that last attempt, and those who have, let's say, that not qualifying in CSAT, yes, it will take a bit time for them to come out of that shock. And I guess we should give them time. You should take your time. You should take your time, how you should do, what you should do. You should motivate yourself, how you can motivate. So people have failed extremely, let's say that means extreme level of failure you can find people have. Still they have come out of that. So you have to do that also. Right. All people are, it is the situation which teaches us, you know, that there is a quote. That quote is that success does not teach us, rather failures teach us. This you learn from more failures, not success. Although today our discussion is not related to that, maybe in next video I can tell what to do, what should be the means other nitty-gritty things. Today I wanted to tell something related to CSAT. What is emerging new, right? What are the things which are unfolding now after this year CSAT? So it's like, let's say that UPSC candidates, especially those who are not engineers. Now there can be two types of candidates. Those who are not engineers and those who are engineers. Even engineers are also not qualifying, you know that. Even IITians can also fail. We have told yesterday about that, about the third ranker. So it's not like that. But yes, there are two types of candidates. One who are engineers. Engineers are, let's say, basically they are better, especially in quant section. They can be this IIT, JEE, they may have appeared mathematics, etc. They study all these things. Even they can have experience of CAT. This. So that way, let's say, they can play better, means they can do better. For them, they don't have to read nitty-gritty things about mathematics. They have been studying mathematics. It has been part and parcel of their overall personality. They have grown up in that way. So it is in their spirit. Mathematics and calculations, other things are in their spirit. But those who are humanities, so humanities, let's say that they have left mathematics, others in their 10+2. And they may not be as, let's say that good, even if they may be good, let's say that in mathematics that time, but they left it. And they have grown up not in that way. They have grown up more in, let's say, literature, art, history, sociology, whatever they may have studied. So they are more academic type. They can more, let's say, have a thinking. They can have more, let's say, understanding about something. So they can know history better. This, but they have left it. Now, since so far CSAT was qualifying, hence somehow jaise taise, let's say, by applying some efforts, hooks and crooks, some level of revisions, etc., they managed it. And since it was qualifying, so they managed enough. It was like something that's sufficient enough. How much I study for CSAT so that I qualify. More than that, they don't have to be study. But now, the way paper has come, then they have got a big shock. Like how they can, because some I have interacted with some students who have, let's say, non-engineering backgrounds, and they are somehow in shock that what they should do. What should be their strategy? Because they let's keep by core, by heart, they don't want to study these all mathematics and quant and others, arithmetics that you can see that. They don't want to do that because it is not paying off also. It's just qualifying. And they have left it way back, at least 3 years back, 4 years back, 6 years back. So should they start going like school children, again start doing mathematics? Because the level of knowledge they have, it is not working. So what we have been getting, let's say, emerging trend, just it is emerging that is people want to, let's say, do SSC also, so that they can learn basics of mathematics, basics of quant things, you can say that. And SSC can teach you some basics aspect, and CAT can teach you some higher level of thing. But UPSC is neither SSC nor CAT. This, so it is trying to have its own distinctive standard. That's why I have written it. It's nothing. It's beyond that. By this year, from this year you can say, from this year 2023, now CSAT is going to be a new standard, even if it is qualifying. And it has set a new standard. Hence, those who are failing in CSAT, they should not regret. And those who are going to appear next year, they should, let's say, tighten their seat belt. Because you have to know, you have to speed up. You know, you have to regroup, you have to re-strategize. Whatever you had planned for CSAT before this prelims, it is not going to work. Right? So you have to prepare it, and throughout year you have to prepare it. You have to prepare from the basics, and then you have to go to the level of not CAT necessarily, but to the level of UPSC. This, and that way, let's say, so it's always challenge. Let's say we teach in class basically in the era of artificial intelligence, chat GPT, etc. Basically, I guess UPSC wants that students have become artificial intelligent. It's artificial intelligent because only artificial intelligent machine can do that CSAT paper on time. This is sarcastically telling. Right. So that way you should know that. I think UPSC is thinking that you are artificial intelligent, right? Or you are a chat GPT type of guy. Right? So is it like that? So it may be, let's say, that they are trying, they think that knowledge is improving. So it can be, this is how you can say new standard. And that way, let's say, in another, let's say, that coming video, I will tell. So just we want to tell you that break your inertia, break the things, and it is certainly a paradigm shift, you can say. Although fourth industrial revolution already has given a paradigm shift, but for UPSC prelims, it is another paradigm shift that now you have to improve your, let's say, that level of preparedness. And it is not going to be, let's say, certainly beyond your level of caliber, because you should know that even if it is challenging, but still this year some people are going to qualify. This, there are 15,000 people, almost 15,000 people, those who will qualify prelims. It means it is doable if you see from their perspective. But if you see from paper's perspective and those who are not doing it, why they are not in part of that 15,000, so then you have to see you have to come in that 15,000. So that is how you have to improve your level. At the same time, we have our, let's say, CSAT faculty. Some people ask 1-2 doubts, so we wanted it's better that we can clear that doubts through the teacher itself. Although Meenakshi is not available, so we have Sudhir who can tell you about that question. I guess the 11th question, 40th question. Further, if you have any doubt related to that, so that can also be. So yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So if I found 2 doubts. One was question number 40.
Yes.
Of SAT A. I can use this thing. Yeah. SAT A, CSAT, question number 40, right? So 4 groups are given here, right? And they are asking which group is different. So, okay, let me write the 4 groups which they have written. 4 groups are 17, 37, 47, and 97. Okay. Second is 31, 41, 53, 67. C is 71, 73, 79, 83, and D is 83, 89, 91, 97. See, what is the correct option? That is not more important question. What is more important is, this is a question paper of number system. Okay, this is a question paper of number system. And see, you have to be observant enough. See, in this, what is happening? All these are prime numbers. Okay, 17, 37, 47, 97. Okay, so the moment you observe 91, okay, the moment you observe 91, you say, okay, this is the, right? So this is what they are looking for. 91 is not a prime number, right? So you know that. So see, one more thing. If I comment on this paper, let's say that's 66 marks, you have to get 66.33. Now there are 80 questions. No doubt quant and reasoning paper was difficult this time. But let's say what you can do from the, from the verbal part, from the quant part, from the reasoning part, you can pick up some easy questions. Let's say somebody is hell-bent that, okay, I'm going to do only quant question. No, then that strategy is not going to work here. You have to identify some, sitters from both reasoning and verbal. That might be the one prudent strategy.
Yes, basically some, they have also commented, students, it happens. Right. We do also teach the candidates that, we tell that candidate, even they know.
Right, sir.
But when paper you see, so we many times teach candidates, see, it's emotional intelligence. Right. When paper is difficult, then be cautious. That it is now your time. If you are cautious, if you do not lose patience, you maintain your emotional balance, so you can do better than others. Because now the paper becomes a test of emotional intelligence rather than intelligence. Right. So, but many a time it happens when people, even if they plan, but in the examination they forget it, and then somehow they start doing mistake. Right. So yes, they should have attempted. First, you should attempt the easy questions you find, and by that way you can reach to 66 plus. I guess. There is one more question, 11th question also on 11th question.
Yes, 11th question I will take up.
Someone is asking 11th question, C option.
Right, sir.
Meenakshi is not there, but he is available. He can tell, also he can clear the doubt.
Okay, sir. Sir, one more thing, as you mentioned the emotional intelligence thing. See, emotional intelligence is very, very important in UPSC. Let's say, to give you an example from this paper, let's say question number 80 is very easy. It is asking, to reverse the digit. Incomprehensibility word is there. You must be remembering incomprehensibility. And you have to write in the reverse alphabetical order and identify which words remain in the same position. If somebody is doing question like this in examination, then I believe there is some problem. Because see, this question, whatever knowledge it is going to take at least 6 to 7 minutes. And given the pressure you are, so you must attempt question like this only when you have you cannot do anything, you are not able to attempt other questions. Because see, these questions seem easy, but they will take away a lot of time. Similarly, the question related to 3C7DD, right? The question is the product of ABC into D gives the product of it. Now, these questions, it can be done, no doubt. But let's say it is going to take 6 to 7, either you have to be very, very, quick in number system. Your prime number should be on your mind. You must have played with the number system and cat-like question for 2-3 years. Then you can tackle it in 1 or 2 minutes. If I can say, I can do it in 30 seconds also. But for beginners, it is going to take time. So
Yes.
please be choosy. Please be choosy. Now we will
Tell
move to
us.
question number 11. Now see, the aspirant has doubt regarding this question number 11. So this is a passage on the emissions humans put into the atmosphere. So what is the crux of the passage? The passage is saying that the technological change, see, this is the most important line, technological change meanwhile could make a future transition away from fossil fuel cheap, or it might not. That is the keyword. If you understand that the technical changes, meanwhile could make a future transition away from fossil fuel cheap, or it might not, leaving the world with a terrible choice. Now, this is what is giving in the option C. Waiting to deal with carbon emissions until technology improves is not a wise strategy. See, in every okay, one more thing, not only this passage, I will give you a big picture. For quant, when you prepare even for CSAT or CAT, any examination, for quant and reasoning comes through, practicing more questions. Let's say CSAT, if you practice, let's say 400, 500 questions, you will be very, very comfortable. You can.
Yes, we'll tell it. We'll tell it a bit later. I guess student will be knowing why it is C.
See, because of the keyword, because they have given transition away from fossil fuel cheap, or it might not. So the crux of the passage is that even if the technological changes cannot help, that's why option C, waiting to deal with carbon emission until technology improves, is not a wise strategy. That is, no doubt about that. I want to assure you, UPSC is going to give C options only in its answer key.
So basically, let's see that I have also started learning about CSAT, showing interest in CSAT, and although I have also mathematics background, I have taught also quant and arithmetics, but I don't want to go into this 10 years back. But this year paper has somehow forced us to see this, because challenge, that if you like challenge, UPSC has given a challenge, and students should take this challenge. We are also taking this challenge, but more importantly, students should get challenge. You feel motivated, rather. I guess I don't know how students feel, but we feel motivated. Motivated by the say that something there is now challenging, and it is breaking monotony also. No? The same culture of preparation, the same, let's say that way of preparation and etc. So you have to break the monotony also. And monotony in the sense the way UPSC has given, it has, let's say, brought a kind of ripple in the market, ripple in the mind of students, and storms, let's say, maybe in your, let's say, in your mind, and what to do, and that is how the challenge. And if you take challenge, so I guess you can do better, because those who are going to do basically in these problems better, they have taken that challenge, and they made a minor difference because of their level of emotional intelligence and patience, let's say that, which we say, and also not losing heart when one faces difficult situation. So that way we can consider, and that is how you have to also see how preparation is not only about knowledge level, knowledge, information, study. That we have to manage overall our situation, environment, life, all these things, and then let's say we can be prepared better. So that is how we can say. So if you are in, let's say that kind of situation, facing depressed, basically our students, I will tell, because I know, again I will say I know all I don't want to use my, but here I will have to tell. I know my students, we know our students, we know their faces, we keep motivating, and again we are motivating them to don't, let's say, ever feel uh, depressed, because life is always, let's say, a challenge, and a good human is one who rise to that challenge, rise to the occasion. That is how we see it. So you should face it. Don't feel, come out of your situation. Those who are especially feeling they are not going to do it, and they are clear because of the answer keys and evaluation, so they should regroup their energy and they should come back. But those who are qualifying on, let's say, border, they should not waste time. This is what we'll say. Then we'll bring some specific strategy what you should do for both type of people. Let's keep those who are going to prepare for this year in mains and those who are going to restart their preparation for 2024. So what we say, we'll not say stay tuned, enjoy your life. This is what we'll say.